Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping straight into something really crucial for anyone with a local presence online. Google Business Profile suspensions.
hmm
We've got this great transcript you shared from Sherry Bonelli. She's a Google Business Profile Platinum product expert talking all about this.
Yeah, she really knows her stuff.
So our mission today is pretty clear. Figure out why these suspensions happen, and crucially, walk through how you can navigate the new appeals process to get your listing back.
Exactly. And this really matters for you listening, especially if you want to get up to speed quickly on important stuff. GBP suspensions,
Yeah.
they're vital to understand.
Right. Whether you rely heavily on your profile for leads or just want to keep that strong online footprint, getting suspended is, well, it's bad news.
It could be absolutely detrimental. So we're aiming to cut through the noise, pull out Sherry's key insights, and give you practical steps. No fluff, just what you need.
Okay, let's start with the types of suspensions.
Yeah.
Sherry mentions two main ones, soft and hard. The soft suspension, your profile is still visible publicly, but you lose control. Can't make changes.
Yeah, which is tricky because it also means someone else could potentially make malicious edits, and you can't fix them.
Oof. Okay, not ideal.
Not at all. Your shop window's there, but you can't change the display, basically.
Then there's the hard suspension, the one everyone really worries about.
That's when your profile just disappears, completely gone from Google search and maps.
Vanished. Okay, so how do you even know it's happened? Apart from, maybe noticing your phone stopped ringing.
Well, Sherry points out the obvious ways first. You should get a notice right in your GBP dashboard
Okay.
and an email notification from Google. Definitely keep an eye on the email link to your profile.
But emails get buried. Dashboards don't always get checked daily.
True.
Yeah.
So the other signs she mentioned are that sudden drop in calls, like you said, or maybe a big dip in website clicks coming from Google, if that happens out of the blue. Worth checking your GBP status.
Gotcha. So you find out you're suspended. What next? Sherry says you need to become a bit of a detective.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Google will usually give you a general reason, like you violated a guideline, but they won't spell out the exact mistake.
They won't say you keyword stuffed your name.
Nope. It'll be more like violation of business name guidelines. So you need to go read the guidelines carefully and figure out where you might have slipped up.
And Sherry made an interesting point, too. Sometimes it might not even be a violation, right? It could be a verification thing.
Exactly. Especially if you've made a bunch of changes recently, Google might just suspend it temporarily to re-verify things. So don't immediately panic and assume you broke a major rule. Investigate first.
Okay, good advice. Stay calm, investigate. So let's dig into those common reasons Sherry sees. Her list is pretty comprehensive.
It really is. Top of the list. Keyword stuffing in the business name. Adding things like your city or service keywords that aren't part of your actual legal name.
Like Joe's Plumbing, best plumber in any town.
Precisely. Or her example. Dr. Smith, optometrist in Green Bay. That optometrist in Green Bay part. That's the stuffing. Google wants your real registered business name.
Makes sense. What else?
Using a P.O. box or UPS store address. Google generally wants a physical location customers can potentially visit, or at least one that represents a real operational base.
So virtual offices or co-working spaces can be problematic too.
Yeah, often are, yeah.
Yeah.
It's about verifying that physical presence and legitimacy.
Okay. What about other people causing issues?
Ah, yes. Reports via the redressal form. If someone flags your listing, maybe a competitor, maybe a disgruntled customer, Google will review it.
So following the rules protects you from that too, somewhat.
It definitely helps. Another one, listing hours is 247 if you don't actually have staff physically present at the location 247. Accuracy is key.
Right, don't pretend you're always open if you're not.
And website URLs that redirect. If the link in your GBP goes to a different site, or even just your Facebook page instead of proper website, that's a red flag.
Google wants a direct link to your actual business site.
Also, big changes to your business model that involve the address, like switching from a storefront to a service area business, or the other way around. That can trigger a review and potential suspension while they re-verify.
Okay, that makes sense. Address changes are significant.
Very. And having multiple listings at the same address, duplicates, big no-no.
Yeah.
One business, one profile.
What if your account has had issues before?
Good point Sherry made. If the Google account managing the profile has been linked to other suspended listings, that history can count against you. It suggests a pattern.
Okay, so account health matters. What about reviews?
Two things there. Being reported for review gating, trying to stop negative reviews from being posted directly. Google hates that.
Right, they want authentic feedback.
And also, reports of fake reviews on your profile. Whether Google suspects you're posting them or just that you've been hit by a wave of spammy reviews, authenticity is paramount.
Makes sense. Any other triggers?
Let's see. Website issues. Like if your site gets hacked or has malware, Google will suspend your GBP to protect users,
That's understandable.
using the same phone number on multiple distinct business profiles. Each business should ideally have unique contact info.
Okay.
Being an online-only business, generally, GBP is for businesses with a physical location or a defined service area where they meet customers.
Right. It's Google Business Profile implying a location.
Exactly. Category confusion, picking categories that don't really match what you do, like Sherry's HVAC company listing painting as a main service. Be accurate. Primary category is huge, but secondaries matter too.
Okay. Keep categories relevant.
Mismatched, name, address, phone number, your NIP across the web. Google looks for consistency. If your website says one thing, your GBP in other directories a third. That erodes trust.
Consistency is key.
Got it. Having two genuinely separate businesses listed at the exact same address can sometimes cause issues if not handled carefully. Needs clear distinction.
What about problems with other Google stuff, like Gmail or ads?
Yes. Violations on other Google products linked to the same account can spill over and get your GBP suspended. It's all connected.
Wow. Okay, the whole ecosystem.
Address or hours on your GBP, not matching your website or other directories again. Consistency.
We're seeing a theme here.
Definitely. Service area businesses displaying a physical address when they shouldn't. If you go to customers, you typically hide your address.
Right, unless you also serve people at that address and meet the criteria.
Correct. And for service area businesses, having multiple profiles with overlapping service areas close together, Sherry mentioned within about a 2-hour radius, can be seen as trying to game the system.
Okay, trying to avoid spamming a region.
Pretty much. Your business description violating guidelines like stuffing it with sale or discount repeatedly. Use posts for promotions.
Keep the description factual.
If a manager on the listing gets their whole Google account suspended, that takes down the GBP listings they manage too. Account level suspension impact.
Okay, be careful who has access.
Definitely. Making too many edits all at once can look suspicious. Go slow, one change at a time if possible.
Good tip. Patience is a virtue.
And the last one Sherry mentioned, but it's crucial. Storefront businesses must have permanent, visible signage. Not a banner, not a piece of paper, real, permanent signs.
That's a big one for verification. Okay, wow. That's a lot of ways to get into trouble.
It is. But knowing them is half the battle, right?
Absolutely. So let's say the worst happens. You're suspended. You've done your detective work. Now, the appeals process, Sherry said it's really changed.
Yeah, significantly. The old way often involved more back and forth with support. This new process.
Yeah.
It's much more like you get one main shot. Maybe a second chance. But the initial appeal is critical.
One main shot. Okay, pressure's on. What are the steps?
First, you get that suspension email. It'll state the violation type again, usually general, and have a link to the appeal tool.
Okay.
You click the big blue appeal button in the tool.
Got it.
Then, really important, make sure you're logged in to the correct Google account for that suspended profile.
Especially if you manage multiple listings.
Exactly. You'll need to select the specific profile that's suspended if you manage more than one.
Okay, select the right one. Then what?
You'll see the violation type again, and then the key status. Eligible for appeal, or not eligible for appeal.
What if it says not eligible?
Sherry mentioned that if it says that, the standard process kind of stops there. It's not super common, apparently, but it's a possibility.
Okay. But assuming it says eligible.
You click Next, and this is where things get intense.
Oh, how so?
The 60-minute evidence window. Once you click to proceed to submit evidence, a timer starts. You have exactly 1 hour to upload everything.
60 minutes, that's it. Wow.
Yeah. Sherry stressed this over and over.
Yeah.
Have all your documentation gathered, organized, and ready to go before you even click that first appeal button.
Okay, so preparation is absolutely non-negotiable here. What docs do you need?
As much official proof as possible. Business registration, business license, tax certificate.
The official stuff.
Right? And a utility bill. Electricity, phone, gas, water, internet, even crash collection. But it has to be an actual bill, not just a service agreement or welcome letter.
Gotcha. Actual bills.
And the absolute crucial part, the business name and address on all these documents must match exactly what's on your Google business profile. No variations, no abbreviations, unless they match perfectly.
Exact match. Okay, so you have your docs ready.
Yeah.
How do you upload them in that 60 minutes?
There's a link you must click that says something like add evidence. Sherry warned that people sometimes miss this step.
Really? How?
Maybe the form layout isn't perfectly clear or they think they're done, but if you miss clicking add evidence, you submit the appeal with nothing attached.
Which guarantees a denial, I imagine.
Almost certainly. So click add evidence. A form pops up, usually pre-filled with your email, business name, address, profile ID.
Okay.
It gives you 2 spots to upload files. But Sherry's tip: if you have more than 2 documents, zip them all up into one single file beforehand and upload that zip file.
Smart. Zip file for multiple docs. Good tip. Is there anywhere to explain things?
Yes, there's a description box about 1,000 characters. This is your chance to explain what happened, what you fixed, provide context.
Like, I realized my name had keywords. I've now corrected it to my legal name.
Exactly that. Or mentioning things like BBB accreditation. Maybe provide the link if you have it and pay for it, as that involves similar vetting. Clearly state the corrective actions you've taken.
Okay. Use that box wisely. Then what?
There's usually a question about whether you're appealing for more than 10 listings. Typically no for most people. Then you hit submit.
And wait. Nervously.
Pretty much. You can check the status in the appeal tool. If it's approved, you'll get an email from Google saying you're reinstated.
Yeah, and if not?
You'll get a denial notification. But Sherry shared something really valuable here.
What's that?
There's a sort of second chance option, a way to request a reevaluation of a denied appeal.
Oh, really? How does that work?
It uses a specific link she mentioned. The URL ends in local appeals. It's meant for cases where maybe the first appeal was denied or you realize you sent the wrong documents.
But Google doesn't really advertise this option.
Apparently not widely. So use it carefully, but know it exists. It's a safety net, but best to get it right the first time.
Definitely aim for the first time. Okay. What if you need more help beyond this?
Sherry pointed to 2 key resources. The official Google Business Profile Help Center for all the rules and docs.
Right.
And the Google Business Profile Community Forum. That's where you can ask questions, see what others are facing.
And she recommended looking for specific people there.
Yeah, look for replies from product experts, gold, platinum, diamond level. They have vetted experience and usually give solid advice.
Good to know. Look for the experts. Now, Sherry also answered some listener questions that brought up some practical points, like business name stuffing again.
All right, she really hammered that home.
Yeah.
Only your legal name. No extra keywords, period. If you really want those keywords, she joked you should legally change your business name.
Ah, point taken. Legal name only. What about hybrid businesses? Storefront plus service area.
She clarified. You can show your address if you meet the criteria prominent sign. Staff there during hours, actually serve customers at that location sometimes. And having service area pages on your website helps too.
Okay, so it's possible, but you need to tick those boxes.
Someone asked about the cost of BBB accreditation. Sherry estimated around $500.
And the benefit, besides general credibility.
The vetting process is similar to Google's needs licenses and rest checks. So potentially it could add weight if you need to appeal, though there's no guarantee Google might ask for the link.
Worth considering for some businesses then. What about video verification? Is that part of this new appeal?
Not typically part of the standard new appeal flow, Sherry said. But Google might still ask for it in complex cases as extra proof. So it's still in their toolkit, just not the default for appeals now.
Okay. And just to confirm, that 60-minute appeal window is definitely new.
Yes, she confirmed that's a recent change with this latest process. Really changes the game in terms of needing to be prepared.
Absolutely. And double-checking, click the Add Evidence link.
Yes. Don't forget that click. It's vital. Easy to miss, apparently.
Got it. The chat messaging feature being gone.
Sherry figured it was likely low usage, no replacement announced so far, just gone.
Okay. Categories always changing.
Yep. New ones added, old ones removed. Pick the closest fit. Primary's most important, but use secondary ones too, up to 10 total. You can rotate the primary seasonally, but remember her advice. One change, then wait. Don't do too much at once.
Good reminder. How about optimizing beyond the basics?
Q&A. Sherry stressed filling out the questions and answers section. So many searches happen after hours. Pre-answering common questions can make a huge difference.
Yeah, that's a great point. Be helpful even when you're closed.
Exactly. And leads from GBP, someone mentioned 70%. Sherry couldn't confirm that number, but...
But we both know it's critical for many businesses, right? A suspension can really hurt the bottom line.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen it happen. Phones just stop ringing. It's a massive lead source for local businesses.
Yeah, so keeping it healthy is vital. How often should you post on GBP? daily.
Nah. Sherry recommended about once a week is generally fine. Consistency and quality over quantity, daily as needed, might even be overkill.
Once a week, make it count. Got it. What about competitors breaking the rules?
You can report them via the redressal form. Sherry's pro tip, use a different email address, not the one linked to your GBP account when you file the report.
Interesting tip. Keep it separate. Any current issues Sherry mentioned seeing in the forums?
Yeah, recently some errors with a tool called the PS tool, edits taking longer than usual to process, and understandably lots of questions about suspensions and that second reevaluation option.
Okay, so folks are definitely dealing with this stuff actively. How about responding to reviews? Any tips there?
Keep it concise and professional. Don't feel you need to write an essay. Remember, you're talking to all potential customers reading it, not just the reviewer. Acknowledge, be polite, don't argue.
Good advice. Keep it classy. And finally, AI. Is it playing a role?
It's starting to. Sherry mentioned Google already uses AI to help generate descriptions within GBP itself, and she expects more AI features are coming down the pike.
Okay, something to watch. So let's wrap this up. Key takeaways for everyone listening.
Okay, number one, GBP suspensions are serious. They can really impact your visibility and leads.
Right.
Understanding the types of suspensions, the common causes, that big list we went through, and especially the new appeals process, is absolutely crucial.
And that 60-minute evidence window is a killer detail.
Huge. Be prepared before you start the appeal. Have those documents ready.
So actionable next steps.
Review that list of common reasons. Check your own profile against it right now. Don't wait.
Proactive check. Good idea.
And gather the documents Sherry mentioned: registration, license, utility bills. Have them scanned and ready, just in case.
Better safe than sorry. And remember that second chance reevaluation link if an appeal gets denied.
Exactly. Don't forget about that potential safety net.
And long term, this isn't just a one-off fix, is it?
No way. Keeping your GBP healthy is an ongoing thing. Regularly check Google's guidelines, they do change. Keep your info accurate and consistent everywhere online.
That proactive approach is the best defense against suspension.
Absolutely. It helps you avoid the problem in the first place.
You know, listening to Sherry's insights. Rules. Preparation and understanding are key.
The digital landscape keeps shifting.
It really makes you think what other parts of your online presence might need that same careful review just to make sure you're not vulnerable to some unexpected issue down the road. Something to ponder.